Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Welcome to Muncie, Indiana, the site of tonight's men's basketball matchup between Delta Eagles and the Mount Vernon Marauders. Mount Vernon making the travel up 9 here and to Muncie as they are 10-6 on the season, starting 7-3 on the year. Just prior to this ball game was the JV edition. 59-23 was that final score in favor of Mount Vernon. We'll see if the boys team here on the varsity level can turn those out as well. They are coached by Ben Rhodes, 71-40 on the season. Mount Vernon started 7-3 I should say, to start the season, coming off a loss last night to Connorsville, where they played host, losing 75-70. So looking for a bounce-back win here on the road against Delta. The Delta Eagles are coached by Mark Detweiler. He's 104-35 in his 6th year here at the school, 339 and 228 overall in his 25th year. His program got out of the gates well, also starting 7-2. So far 10-6. They too are looking to rebound. Last night a tough matchup against Wapanani, 57-49. It was a nail-biter late, but they ended up losing that ball game. So again, looking to get a bounce-back victory here this evening. When we look at both ball clubs, first starting with Mount Vernon, they are led in scoring by a freshman, and that freshman is Julian Smith, the 6'1 guard, a very guard-heavy program for Mount Vernon. Looking over at the Eagles of Delta, they are led by Damari Hood. Damari, the 6'3 junior. When you look at both ball clubs, one sophomore on the roster for the Delta Eagles, the rest are upperclassmen, so they have a lot of experience there on their sideline. When you look to the other side, 4 seniors for Mount Vernon. So a little bit senior-laden for Mount Vernon. A nice score in the sophomore by Damari Hood for the Delta Eagles. We will see what happens. Right now we are going to step aside, take a break, come back, thank our sponsors, and get you ready for men's basketball action here on Indiana Sports, IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Nice national anthem there by the pep band here at Delta. It's also little kid cheer night, so a lot of youth cheerleaders here in attendance. Whiteout from the student section across the way from our booth up here. I'm joined by Mark Webster. I am Chris Presley for the call for the 10-6 Marauders of Mount Vernon as they take on the 10-6 Eagles of Delta. Let's go ahead and give you starting lineups for both teams. First, we will start with Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon at guard, freshman Julian Smith. At guard, another freshman in Luke Ertl. Starting at guard, another guard, I should say, Eli Brittenthal, the 6'2 senior. At 6'4, the freshman Romani Wells. And rounding things out in the middle, the 6'6 senior at center, Adam Hackett. Now for the home Delta Eagles, they are up front, led by 5'7 junior guard Johnny Manor. The 5'10 senior guard, that is Blake Jones, wearing number 13. Caden Bond, the 5'11 junior guard, he's wearing number 3. Damari Hood, who we spoke about in the pregame, he's the 6'3 junior forward. And down low, the 6'3 junior forward, Jackson Wars. He will sport number 23. So both ball clubs 10-6 on the season. Both of them looking to bounce back off of a loss from last night. We've seen a lot of these Friday, Saturday back-to-backs here on the schedule. Right now, I want to say that tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a call at 317-257-0779. And also Greg Hubler Ford at the corner of Nebo Road and McGilliard in Muncie. Promises kept at Greg Hubler Ford at greghublerford.com. Well, here at Delta High School, obviously Matt Painter's jersey retired on the wall here on the left side above the basket, his number 12, and we're set for the tip, won by Delta. Manor to the right side. He'll hand off to Bond. Eagles working the ball around the perimeter here in their first possession. Really tight man-to-man outside of the arc for Mount Vernon. Here's Damari Hood. As I mentioned, he's the leader in points for this ball club with 12.9 a contest. So the Eagles will continue to skip the ball around, really looking to try and find something and penetrate. Mount Vernon doing a nice job here in the man-to-man defense. Baseline drive cut off nicely by Mount Vernon. They come away with the steal. There was Romani Wells. So up the floor comes Ertl. He's got it out now, out towards midcourt. A minute off the clock so far here in this contest. This is Julian Smith, the 6-foot freshman. We got a 2-3 zone for the Eagles, so differences here on defense early on for both ball clubs. Ertl back to Smith. Smith step back. Here's Wells. Corner it goes. The three-pointer on the way, off the mark, no good. That was Adam Hackett. Underneath is Smith. He'll clean it up for 2, and Mount Vernon strikes first. Manor right side. Here's Bond. Comes off the screen. Nice hedge there by Mount Vernon. Ball's deflected and will be taken away by Ertl. He looks to push. Wrap around. Shot. In and falls. Nice job by Adam Hackett there on the touch, the 6'6 senior. Quick 4-0 run for the Marauders. Jones finds Hood. Hood looking for something. Nothing there, so we'll set the screen. Bond now trapped out towards midcourt. There will be a whistle, and that is a foul. So the first foul of the contest goes against Mount Vernon with 5:46 to play here in the first quarter. That foul goes on Adam Hackett, his first, team's first. Hood across midcourt now. Wants to set up the offense and hands it to Manor. For the first time, Warscott there on the elbow extended. Now in the lane, shot off the mark, no good by Damari Hood, but a reach-in foul on the attempt. That one will go against Hackett. That is his second and team second, so 2 quick fouls for Hackett, and he will take a seat. Coming in to replace him, Tanner Teschendorf, the 6'2 sophomore guard. Shot up by Hood, off the mark, no good. Rebound fought for and won, and the putback goes to Caden Bond. So Delta's on the board, cuts the lead in half with 5:18 and a quick whistle as Mount Vernon brings the ball across midcourt. That foul will go on Blake Jones, 5'10 senior guard wearing number 13. That's his first. Smith curling off the screen at the top of the key. Picks it up, finds Ertl in the corner. Smith thought about it, swings it left side. A near strip by Damari Hood, but he'll be whistled for his first foul. His team's second, so both teams with 2 fouls here in the early going of this contest. 4-2 the score. Smith calls out a play, still a 2-3 defense here for Delta. Smith trying to find Romani Wells at the top of the key, nothing there, so he puts it on the floor. In the corner it goes, the 3 on the way, and that will fall. Tanner Teschendorf, who just subbed in moments ago. Hood picks up the dribble, shot, no good. Ertl gets trapped, swings it to Smith. Smith breaks the pressure now. Left side, Smith's 3. In and out, no good. Tracked down by Delta. Here's Damari Hood on the lay-in. So a long rebound turns into a quick 2 for Delta. 7-3 the score. Delta remains here in the 2-3 zone. It's been working the last couple of possessions. Corner again, Ertl, no good. Nice box out and rebound won by Caden Bond. Manor slowly up the court. Here's from Mark Detweiler, his coach, what play to run. Elbow extended to Hood. Nice trap by Mount Vernon there on the dribble. Underneath it goes on the baseline. The shot is up and falls through. That's good for 2 for Jackson Wars. So back to a 1-point game. Over halfway through this first quarter. Now we get a little 3-2 action, and they'll fall back. A nice little Syracuse-style 2-3 zone there for Delta. Smith comes off the screen. Right side, once again a corner, nearly a 3 by Teschendorf, who hit one earlier. Ertl, left-hand dribble, picks up his dribble. So nice job here by the Eagles in their student section, letting them hear it. Really good defensive possession with this zone. Smith on the floor, nice spin dribble, takes it back out. Shot on the way for Mount Vernon, in and out, no good. Wars with the board. He'll look to push. Damari Hood, no good. Long rebound chased down by Ertl, and now he'll bring the ball quickly up the floor. 3-pointer on the way for Mount Vernon, and that goes. That's Eli Brittenthal, and a timeout taken by Coach Detweiler and Delta. So at that timeout, we're going to go ahead and thank some other sponsors that have joined this broadcast for you on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. That's GENESIS sportsperformance.com. And also Ray Skillman, This is brought to you by the Ray Skillman Northeast Kia dealership on Shadeland Avenue. Visit them for all of your Kia needs. So with 2:06 to play here in the first quarter, a quick 10-6 lead for Mount Vernon. Jumped out 7-2 at one point, but a nice job by Delta to fight their way back. Coach Detweiler wanted a timeout there and was granted as he tries to draw something up to chip even further into this 4-point deficit. So for the first time, we'll see some full court pressure by Mount Vernon. A near steal. The ball's on the floor. We'll see if they call a tie-up, and they do. Ball will head to Mount Vernon. So a good press there, unable to break it. Unfortunately for Delta was Manor. Both teams very consistent so far with handling the basketball. Haven't been sloppy. Both teams also playing different styles of defense. More man-to-man and press for Mount Vernon. 2-3 zone as you see right now for Delta. Ball is being skipped around. Ertl thought about the three, puts it on the floor, gets in the lane. The left-hand floater rattles off, no good. Manor there with the rebound. He'll push it up the floor and now track it down as he sets up the offense for the Eagles. Brittenthal looking to trap at the top with Wells. Nice pass down low to Damari Hood, who puts it in for two. So the leading scorer for Delta coming into this game is leading this ball game for his club with 4 points. Here's Ertl on the right side calling for a screen. Nothing there in the corner. Brittenthal can't get it to go in Manor. Smallest guy on the floor with another board. He's done a really good job of crashing on the defensive end and really finding his way around the box outs and getting the rebounds. As I say that, he drives baseline, back out to Hood now. Kicks it across, three-pointer on the way for Bond. Off the mark, no good. Tip back up by Hood. Will go. And we have a 10-10 ball game with 35 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ertl drives, ball deflected away, tracked down by Mount Vernon. Now here's Smith. Coming off the screen, back to his right hand, picks up his dribble. Ertl again calls from the screen, comes off at the top on the staggered. Really good extended 2-3 zone again here by Delta. Smith tries to penetrate the zone and does. Three-pointer on the way and is good. That is Brittenthal for his second three of the first quarter. Give him 6, and we go to the end of that quarter. 13-10 your score. The visiting Marauders of Mount Vernon leading Delta Eagles here on the road. We'll be back after these messages.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
So as we head into the second quarter, the Marauders of Mount Vernon lead the Delta Eagles 13-10. The Eagles with the ball to start the second quarter. This is Damari Hood, who leads all scorers, or is tied with, Brittenthal of Mount Vernon with 6. Step through for Delta, in and out, no good. Marauders now look to run. This 2-3 zone still causing some fits for Mount Vernon. A near turnover as Hood thought he hit it off the leg of Teschendorf. Teschendorf to inbound. Ball comes to the right side to Schenk, his first action here this evening. Smith once again directing traffic, comes to the top of the key. Sets it up with Ertl. Now they're looking for a high ball screen. Ertl straight away, thought about the triple. Ball deflected in the backcourt. We'll see that. They said it was tipped. So it stays with Mount Vernon. Corner three on the way for the Marauders. Off the mark, no good. Manor tries to save it for Delta and does. So once again, Johnny Manor really doing a good job crashing the boards for Delta, albeit being the smallest player on this team. Ball comes to the top. That's Fernie. His first action this evening as well. Hood gets in the air, passes out Manor. Left side, Fernie for three. Shot no good. Ertl with the board. Jalen Smith looks inside on this 2-3 zone. Nothing there, so skips it around. Ball back in his hands. Manor, good job with the defense as he picks up his dribble. Swings it back out up top to Schenk. So a lot of corner threes have been open in this 2-3 zone so far for Mount Vernon. Haven't really found anything to penetrate in the middle of the zone. Here's Ertl, three-pointer on the way. Hard off the back of the iron. Manor once again with the board. Very impressive early going window cleaning for this point guard. Hood picks up his dribble. Now out to Manor. Manor drives in, picks it up, out to Hood. He puts it on the floor. 2-3 zone now for Mount Vernon. We've seen a lot of man-to-man action for them. Corner, Hood trying to save it, cannot do so as he tippy-toed the sideline. Bond and Jones come back in for Delta. Fernie and Hood will take a seat. Ertl takes a seat for Mount Vernon as well, leaving Schenk at the point guard position. Brittenthal, left wing. Smith now looking to find something. Directing traffic at the top. Schenk with it. Back out Smith, drives on Manor, gets in the lane, shot up, off the window, will fall for Julian Smith. Tough two-pointer there, putting his team up 15-10 with 4:35 to play here in the second quarter. Mount Vernon backs into their man-to-man defense yet again. Now a 2-3, so really good job switching things up on the defensive end, throwing different looks at Delta. Nice power dribble and up and in for two. That's Jackson Wars with his fourth point of the evening. So only 2 fouls apiece. Those happened very early on in the first quarter. Not a lot of sloppy play in terms of turnovers. This clock just continues to wind here in a very fast-paced, up and down ball game so far. We're going to have a stoppage in play from the official underneath. It'll be a side out of bounds. He was taking care of Julian Smith, making sure that he was all right. Since he did stop play, Julian Smith will go to the bench, but it looked like his head coach, Ben Rhodes, was going to substitute for him anyway. So with him heading to the sideline, Ertl comes back in. He'll now play two guard as Schenk keeps the ball at point guard. Left side three-pointer on the way. That falls. Eli Brittenthal, his third three here of the evening, give him 9. Tight defense at the top. Once again, man-to-man defense turning into a trap. And as Wars goes up for two underneath for Delta, he is fouled by Shank. He's favoring that right shoulder. We'll keep an eye on that. He does have it wrapped. He seems to be all right, though. Just a little tender there on the foul. So the first foul against Shank, third for the team. We'll send Wars to the free throw line. First one is up. That is no good. Wars averages 12.5 points per contest this season. Second one falls through. He'll take a seat after making the free throw. Damari Hood comes in for Delta. And Mount Vernon will see Brady Fitzgerald take a seat. Julian Smith comes back in for him. We do see Adam Hackett on the floor as he inbounds for Mount Vernon with 3:22 to play here in the second quarter. He has 2 fouls, so he'll have to be careful for the remainder of this half. Here he is with the ball. Bounce pass thrown right into traffic and taken for Delta. Mount Vernon tried to trap as Delta gets the ball across midcourt. High ball screen now, swung back to the right. Delta looking low, now back to the top, quickly swinging the ball around the perimeter. A deep three. That falls for Jaden Fernie. He cuts the lead to 2 as Delta drops back into their 2-3 zone. Pardon me, Jalen Smith did not come in the last substitution. That was Dylan King. He's on your right wing as we have a whistle underneath. That foul goes against Damari Hood. His second foul, third on the team. So you have 2 big players for either team, or I should say a player for either team with 2 fouls, with Damari Hood of Delta and Adam Hackett of Mount Vernon. That ball is turned over and back to Delta it goes. We'll see Mount Vernon pick up full court pressure here. Walking the ball up is Blake Jones. Ertl tries to pick up his man, does so, and again a trap as they get it across midcourt, forcing the Eagles to call timeout. They're going to take a full, trailing by 2, 18-16 with 2:15 to play in the second quarter. We'll step aside and be back with the remainder of first half action here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Well, to the Mark Detweiler timeout for Delta. We are back here in Muncie, Indiana on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com. 18-16 the score. 2:15 to play here in the first half. Delta with the basketball. Here's Damari Hood. Corner it goes. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. No good. Fought for underneath. It will end up into the hands of a Delta Eagle on the floor with a Marauder. A tie-up and a jump ball will send the ball to Mount Vernon. Good hustle by both ball clubs there to get on the floor for the loose ball. Coming in is Maynor for Delta. Apologies there to Johnny Maynor. Was calling a Maynor there a lot of that first half. Either way, the kid knows how to clean up the boards. And right now he's on Julian Smith as Delta continues this 2-3 zone. Smith picks up the dribble, now brings the ball to the right side. Smith thought about the three. Left corner to Breidenthal. Breidenthal gets trapped, picks it up, out to Ertl. Ertl down the lane, left-hand shovel pass underneath, up off the board, good for two, count it. And the foul as he finds Breidenthal. His 11th point here in the first half. Breidenthal averages 10.9, so he has already matched his season average. With 1:21 to play here in the second quarter, his team leading by 4 as he looks to make it 5, heading to the free throw line. Free throw is on the way and good. Maynor picked up by Smith. The Marauders still here in a full court defense. Bond drives in, picks up his dribble. To the corner it goes. Now looking to reset is Maynor. 2-3 zone for Mount Vernon. Leaves a man underneath wide open, but a nice job getting back on defense on the shell drill there were the Marauders, but a reach-in foul will put the ball underneath the basket for an out of bounds for Delta. Teschendorf there on the foul for Mount Vernon. That's his first. Team's fourth. Underneath is Wars cutting, laying it off the window, good for two. And that lets Ben Rhodes take a timeout. 21-18 the score. Both of these teams back and forth. Really good cut there by Wars as he faked to the right and then cut hard to the basket using the window. Nice to see the fundamental move there by the big guy. So for Wars, give him 6 points in the first half. Well, once again, tonight's game built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a call at 317-257-0779. That's 317-257-0779. So as we've ticked under a minute to play here in the first half, Ertl brings the ball up for Mount Vernon. They look to stretch their lead here on this possession, but the 2-3 zone has really done a good job slowing down the pace for the Marauders so far this evening. Nothing on the left side. Now underneath, Ertl with a shovel pass as he falls in the lane. Smith will back it out. Smith, dead away three, on the way. That's good. Julian Smith now with 7. Delta will hold for the final shot, one would assume, as Maynor gets the ball across court with 10 seconds to play in the first half. Bond back to Maynor. Bounce pass once again underneath to Wars, who lays it off the window. So he does it from one side and then moves to the other. He's got 8 in the first half. And that will conclude the first half. 24-20 is your score. The Marauders of Mount Vernon with a narrow lead against the home Delta Eagles. We're going to go ahead, step aside, take a break, come back, kind of unpack a little bit of what happened there in the first half for you. Talk about our sponsors, talk about some stats, and get you ready for second half boys basketball action here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
So we are back here in Muncie, Indiana. 24-20 is your score. The Marauders of Mount Vernon leading the host Eagles of Delta. Really up and down ball game there in the first half. Two different styles of defense and offense due to those styles of defense. Mount Vernon doing a nice job on man-to-man and seemingly trying to trap the ball on the first dribble every time the ball got across midcourt, leading to a lot of balls being picked up on the dribble right when the ball came across midcourt for Delta. Delta able to get the ball around the horn, even though they were trapped at the top of the key. Not a sloppy game here this evening. You would think with a lot of the pressure that Mount Vernon has put on Delta, there would be some careless passes. Quite the contrary, doing a nice job moving the ball around, and as we saw the last couple of possessions, finding Jackson Wars down low for some easy lay-ins. Then when you look on the other side, Delta playing a 2-3 zone. Not a lot of room in the middle for the man flashing high for Mount Vernon, but they've done a good job moving the ball into the corner and finding corner threes, along with Julian Smith hitting one from straight away. You had Breidenthal for Mount Vernon, who knocked down 3 threes there in the first half. He leads Mount Vernon with 11 points. And then when you look over at the or at Delta, I should say, I mentioned Wars getting a couple easy ones and then going to the line there as well. He's got 9 points for Delta. So both of these teams very impressed, like I said, with the way that they've taken care of the ball, even though both of their ball clubs are playing different styles of offense and defense, and they're really doing a good job of taking what the defense gives them. I know it's cliche to sound, or it sounds cliche, but it's truly what they've done. And when you look at Mount Vernon, they've gotten a lot of players into the ball game thus far, going up and down their bench. Some of that due in part to foul trouble. Breidenthal had to, Hackett had to, but really going up and down their bench, trying to mix and match on both the offensive and defensive end for Ben Rhodes. The Eagles doing pretty much the same thing as well. There are a couple of guys that we haven't seen, but we have seen a fair amount of their roster, and very impressed with Johnny Maynard, the 5'7" junior guard, playing point guard for this Eagles ball club, but cleaning up a lot of rebounds there on the loose end. And when you play 2-3 zones, sometimes it's difficult to get in there, as most of you guys know, on a carom off the rim, because you have to find your man, turn him out, and box out. But doing a good job still filling in that space and picking it up. As you see on the floor right now, always fun to have the youth of an area come out and look up to their idols. And right now we have cheer teams from across the county out here at midcourt, giving the fans here at Delta a little halftime entertainment, and a fairly large crowd here at Delta. Obviously, Matt Painter went to school here, really loved their basketball up here in Muncie, Indiana, and you can see why with what their team is putting on the board here this evening. Both teams 10-6 on the season, looking to move to 11-6. Unfortunately, as good as this game has gone, only one will walk out of here victorious, and we will see here in just about 6 minutes when we resume second half action how that turns out. If you are on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, make sure to scroll to the top of the page. Look at the ticker there for scores around Central Indiana and the state of Indiana. A lot of scores for boys and women's action taking place this weekend. Very good games all across the board. I know my Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles got a nice win earlier against Noblesville in overtime. So it's been a day packed full of basketball in the Presley household. Want to thank our sponsors, Universal Roofing and Exteriors, Greg Hubler Ford, Genesis Sports Performance, and Ray Skillman Kia. Going to step aside for a second, take a break for you for just a few moments, come back, get you ready for second half action, and get underway here at Delta High School.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Well, both ball clubs coming out to the floor now as they have 3 minutes to go to loosen back up before we head to the second half. Giving you some stats again for both of these teams as the Marauders of Mount Vernon lead the Eagles of Delta 24-20. Julian Smith with 7 points. Breidenthal, he has 11 for Mount Vernon. 3 for Teschendorf as well. Looking at some lead scorers for Delta. A three-pointer from Fernie was his only made basket, but that was, that really helped spark some things there for Delta in that first half. 9 points for Jackson Wars. He leads the Delta Eagles. 6 for Damari Hood. Coming into this game, Damari Hood was the leading scorer on the season for Delta with 12.9 and rebounder at 4.5. So a good job early on for him. A little bit silent there in the second quarter, but would imagine that he comes out ready to play in the second half. Fouls weren't too much trouble for either team from a team standpoint. Both teams had 5, 2 of them for Adam Hackett, so he saw a little bit of bench time, but he will have 3 fouls remaining for the game, and the 6'6 senior, I would imagine, will probably go most of the distance this evening for Mount Vernon. Again, Mount Vernon came out in man-to-man defense, trapping as the ball got across midcourt. Delta doing the opposite as they played a 2-3 zone. Mount Vernon, a lot of their shots were threes, coming from either corner. And when you look at Delta, as I mentioned as we first started this halftime break, really getting a lot of layups from either side of the basket. Want to go ahead and thank all of our sponsors once again, as tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. You can visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a call at 317-257-0779. Again, that's universalrfg.com or 317-257-0779. And Greg Hubler Ford at the corner of Nebo and McGilliard in Muncie. Promises kept at Greg Hubler Ford at greghublerford.com. Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. GENESIS sportsperformance.com. And also Ray Skillman Kia. Ray Skillman Kia Northeast on Shadeland Avenue is the place for all of your Kia needs. So we are ticking down before second half action here. Both Coach Ben Rhodes and Mark Detweiler giving their final message to their ball club. Again, a packed house pretty much here at Delta High School. Student section with the whiteout. Great pep band also across the way. You can't see behind us, but we are here in the second deck, and most of this deck is filled, and below us there is almost no seat to be had. Mount Vernon, a nice job traveling for this game. And, of course, for the viewing pleasure of those here in attendance, and some of you during the halftime break, we had the cheerleaders here locally, the youth cheerleaders out at midcourt giving their little performance. Well, all the talk is finished. We are ready for second half action. Delta will control things to start the second half of play. So into the backcourt it goes to Damari Hood. We're underway. Wers down low. The look to Hood will go off of his hand out of bounds. They'll say it was actually deflected away by Hackett. And so it will stay with the Eagles of Delta. Ball off the foot of Ertl. Smart play there by Blake Jones. Near 5 count. Had to just get rid of it and did so off the defender. He will inbound yet again. Pass underneath. There's Wers. Once again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He kisses it off the window. Give him 11. So we've seen that play run a couple times now for Delta, and both times they ran it, they've converted. They'll drop back into 2-3 zone. Trailing by 2. Near carry, but they're going to let Mount Vernon play. Nice head fake by Hackett. Drives inside. In the paint, banging underneath is Wells. Teardrop, no good. Maynard yet again in there trying to get the board, but it comes away to Bond. Now back to Maynard as he brings it up the floor. Quickly gets it ahead to Hood. He'll set up the offense as he dribbles to the top of the key. In the hands of Maynard. Eagles working it around the perimeter from right to left, looking for something. Bond comes off the Hood screen, back to Hood, thought about the 3, pump fake, drives in, 1 dribble, shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by Breidenthal. He'll swing it quickly up the floor. Here's Smith. Smith sets things up, comes off the screen for Wells. The jumper in the lane, no good. Hood with the board. Here's Bond. Tough shot, deflected away. Mount Vernon looks to run. Ertl. Hesitation dribble, gets by his man, counted for 2. So the 4-on-1 fast break leads to quick points for Mount Vernon. They take a 4-point lead with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. They'll remain in man-to-man defense. Hood catches, nearly stolen away from Delta by Ertl. Here's Maynard with the save. So Delta really looking for their shot here on offense. Methodically moving it around the perimeter. Maynard goes baseline, picks up his dribble, near trap. Breidenthal almost with the steal. Behind the back, Hood. Out to Maynard. History. That's good. Johnny Maynard cuts it to 1. Breidenthal, he'll drive. Up and under. That's good. Just a strong take there with the dominant hand as he goes baseline. Very impressive ball game here this evening for Breidenthal. Jones swinging it around. Maynard looking to create. On the deck, Jones the Hood. Crossover dribble, and they're going to call a reach there. That reach will go on Adam Hackett, the 6'6 senior. That is his third, team's first. Tanner Teschendorf comes in for Mount Vernon, replacing Hackett. Delta tried to get it to Wurs there on the play that's worked a few times. Ball goes out to midcourt, but tracked back down. So the Eagles retain possession here. Jones, nearly stolen by Ertl, picks up his dribble in the lane. Gets in the air, gets rid of it. Here's word, Teschendorf, who just subbed in. He stays straight up, shot is up, no good. Nice defense by Teschendorf. He comes down with it. Marauders now looking to push. Ertl for 3. Too hard off the board. Now Hood trying to chase it down with Wells. We'll see. It will stay with Marauders. Now the officials are going to huddle up and discuss the call. The fans here at Delta certainly think it's their ball. And they would be correct. So a nice job there by the officials of getting together and getting the correct call. Marauders with a 3-point lead, 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Methodically bringing the ball up the floor is Fernie. Maynard now, triple threat position. There's the trap that Mount Vernon had done so often in the first half. Nearly come away with the steal. Wurs with a spin and the right hand. And it's good. A near turnover now by Mount Vernon as Wells threw it off the back of his teammate. Zone defense still for Delta as Breidenthal thought about driving baseline, pulled it back out. Here's Ertl. Ertl down the lane. Now Breidenthal. Zone defense causing some trouble here for Mount Vernon as they look for their open shot. Smith puts it on the deck, gets in the lane, fouled from behind. That foul's on Johnny Maynard. So that's his first. Team's first. 3 minutes even to play as Teschendorf looks inside. Here's Wells feeling the defender. Power dribble, spin around, off the window, good for 2. Ramani Wells with his first basket of the evening. Mount Vernon back up 3 and a foul about 60 feet from the basket. That goes against Ertl. He looks over at Ben Rhodes, says, that's on me. That foul is his first. Second on the team. Here's Fernie now, guarded by Smith. Rhodes looked low. Fernie and Smith down low. See if Wurs can get it to him. He picks up the dribble. Fernie stops, baseline, out to Maynard. Maynard drives, Wurs goes up for the shot and is fouled. They're going to say Tanner Teschendorf, the 6'2 sophomore guard, came down with his arms there on the contact. Really can't blame Tanner there. Gives up some body weight to Wers, who once he went into the chest of Teschendorf, just a natural collapsing of the arms coming down, and Wers doing a good job, the junior, of leaning in for the contact. So he knocks down the free throw. Once again, tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a call at 317-257-0779. So Wers connects on both. On the other end, a quick three hoisted by Smith. No good, but Wells is there for the rebound. Now contact as Smith drives in the lane. That looks like it will go on Johnny Maynor, and it will. So his second of the quarter, second on the team this half. 2 minutes, 1 second to play in the third quarter, a 1-point game. Mount Vernon leading here on the road 30-29. Maynor's asking, or pardon me, the official got with Maynor. It looks like he's cut behind the ear, so he's going to go ahead and take care of that. Nice little assistance there by his head coach, Mark Detweiler, as he said, give me the towel. I'll go ahead and take care of this for you. Teschendorf to inbound. Here's Smith. 2-3 zone by the Eagles. Driving baseline. Bridenthal back to Smith. His shot in the lane is good. So 9 points for Julian Smith, the 6-foot freshman for the Marauders. Fernie now with it. His team trails by 3, 1:30 to play in the third quarter. Wers tries to find Maynor. Maynor comes away with it. Now it's stolen back for the Marauders, and they're going to call a foul on Delta. That foul will go against Jackson Wers. So the third team foul here in the third quarter for Delta. Nice job of Smith to get on the floor and get after it. And we will have a full timeout. So we're going to step aside, come back, and give you the remaining minute 25 of this third quarter. The Marauders leading by 3, 32-29.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Ball out of bounds underneath for the Marauders. They lead by 3, 32-29. Bringing it up the floor for them is Julian Smith. Smith looks inside, comes off the screen. Here's Ertl. Still a zone defense for the Eagles of Delta. We'll see how much time they can take off the clock defensively or cause a turnover. And as I say that, a whistle down low. That will go on Caleb Jones. Jones, his first action this evening. He came in for Wers during the last timeout. Blake Jones comes in for Delta, replacing Johnny Maynor. Teschendorf to inbound. Here's Romani Wells, turnaround right hook, fading. Falls short, no good. Jones gets across the timeline. 5-on-4, but he did kick it back out, setting up the offense for the Eagles. Fernie now up to Hood. Hood one dribble, then picks it up. Eagles will call a play now. Jones fakes right, comes back left. Now just settles things back down. 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Down by 3's Delta with the basketball. Teschendorf trying to speed up Hood. Six seconds to go now. Hood's got to get it away and does so. Shot no good. Tip up, no. But there's Wars who almost got it to fall on the weak side board. Couldn't get it to drop. His team trails by 3. We'll head to the fourth quarter. Come back and give you the remainder of this ball game after this break.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school,
We are back for fourth quarter action. 32-29 your score. The Marauders of Mount Vernon lead the Eagles of Delta. Marauders will have the ball. Wers there at the end of the third quarter nearly got it to go on the putback. He's done a great job around the basket here this evening. He's anchoring things in the middle on the 2-3 zone as we start action. Smith. Breidenthal now. His floater on the baseline, no good. Deflected away off of Teschendorf, and back it goes to Delta. So a very quick ball game here this evening. Obviously a 7:30 tip. It's been under an hour, and here we are in the fourth quarter. I would imagine it goes down to the wire as we have a 3-point ball game currently. Fernie across the timeline. Here's Hood. Hood is guarded by Hackett, who's back now on the floor. He's got 3 fouls. 2 still to play with. He switches off onto Jones. Wers trying to work down low on Teschendorf, but the Eagles will swing the ball around. Down low, Damari Hood. Out to Wers. His 3 on the way. Off the mark, no good. Now Vernon looking to chase it down and do so. Now here's Breidenthal. He comes up Main Street. Swings it. Right side, Ertl. In and out dribble. Back out. Hackett's 3-pointer is good. So give Adam Hackett the 6'6" senior 3. Stretching that lead out to 6. He's now guarding Bond, who will hand it to Jones and set up the offense for Delta. Fernie gets the offense in motion. Back to Jones. It goes left wing. Bond, head fake. Pulls it out. Man-to-man defense now. Here's Jones. Entry pass down on the block. Hood, spin dribble, shot up, off the window, no good. Fought for and won by Mount Vernon. They look to push. Ertl down the lane. Ball comes out of his hands. He's disappointed with himself there as they got just sped up just a little too much. Turns the ball over back to Delta with 6:09 to play in the fourth quarter. Full court man for Mount Vernon. Bond across midcourt. Now they'll look to trap. Up top, Fernie. Left side, here's Jones. He stops. Looks, bounce pass, Bond. Shot up, no good, blocked away. Marauders now look to move. Trapped at half court is Breidenthal. Skips it over to Hackett. He gets it across the timeline, corner, shot fake, Teschendorf, into Smith. Smith's shot is good. So 11 points for Julian Smith, the freshman, as he stretches his team's lead out to 8. 5:29 to play. Ball is deflected out of bounds as the Eagles move it across midcourt. It will stay with the Eagles. We're going to have a full timeout by Delta. We'll go ahead and stay here. During this timeout, want to thank Greg Hubler Ford at the corner of Nebo Road and McGilliard in Muncie. Promises kept at Greg Hubler Ford at greghublerford.com. Also, Genesis Sports Performance. You can visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. GENESIS sportsperformance.com. Also, Ray Skillman. This game has been brought to you by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. Visit Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue for all your Kia needs. And at the conclusion of this game, my great producer Mark Webster here to my left, we will go down courtside and try and talk to winning coach or one of the players for the winning team. You can follow that interview on Twitter at INDHS Sports. That's INDHS Sports for an interview from one of these victorious teams at the conclusion of this ball game. And again, whether you are watching on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com or found your way to this broadcast via YouTube Live, go ahead to the top of the screen at IndianaHighSchoolSports.com to check out scores across the state of Indiana for both boys and girls. A lot of great action going on as we near ever so closely to sectional time. So right now, both teams mostly are on the floor. We're just waiting for Julian Smith, who looks to get some blood off of his jersey. Training staff got him squared away. With 5:27 to go, his team leads by 8. And here he is guarding Maynor in the backcourt. So still full court man defense for the Marauders. Fernie looks to drive. Here's Wurs down the lane. Shot up, no good. Gets his own board back. Can't get it to fall. It's deflected out of bounds. They'll say it last went off the Marauders. Giving both of these teams a lot of credit here this evening. They've really crashed the board well. Very, very rarely this evening have we seen a ball go up and one person be there for it. A lot of hands fighting for those 50-50 balls. Wurs off the inbounds. Gets it up and in for 2. And Wurs is just continuing to wear out that window. Smith with it. He looks to drive inside. Now Teschendorf. Back to Smith, setting up the offense. Gets the call from his head coach. On over to Ertl. They're going to call a hand check there on Delta. That will go against Blake Jones. That's the second on Jones, 4th on the team. So as we approach 4:30 to play in the fourth quarter, 37-31 Marauders with the lead and the basketball as Ertl drives in. Shot no good. Wars there for the board. Maynor now. Bounces inside. Wars shot up off the window. Good for another 2. 17 points for Wars, keeping his team in this ball game. Smith down the lane. Shot up. In and out, no good, but is fouled and will head to the charity stripe for 2. Foul will go on Johnny Maynor. That is his 3rd, team's 5th. Knocks down the first. So give Smith 12 points here this evening. Looking to make it 13, and does. Stretches that lead back out by 6 for Mount Vernon. Staying in man-to-man defense, Maynard looking to come off the Hood screen, now gives it back to him. Hood picks up his dribble. Maynard to Wurs has been working lately, and we'll see if Wurs can get another 2. Out to Hood. Hood's 3. Shot no good. Chased down by Hackett. Ball poked away from behind. They'll say it went off Fernie and the Eagles of Delta. So 3:33 to play. 39-33 the score. Mount Vernon with the lead and the basketball. We'll see Delta pick up some full court pressure now. In the corner it goes. Ertl able to split past the double team in the corner. Now backing it back out is Smith. Coach Rhodes calls out 41 for his team. Ertl, nice job by Maynard there defensively. Man defense for Delta coming out of that 2-3 zone. Down the lane goes Ertl. Shot is up. They are going to say it as a bump on the floor. And a big foul for Delta because that goes against Johnny Maynard, his 4th. He's picked up a couple quick ones here the last few minutes. 6th on the team. So one more foul, and Mount Vernon will be shooting 1-1. And Maynard, one more, and he is done for the evening. Smith, guarded by Jones. Smith gets in. We're going to see what they call here. And that will go against Blake Jones, his 3rd, team 7th. So Julian Smith with 13 points in this contest heads to the line looking to add to those totals. Bond comes back in. Caden Bond for Delta. He's wearing number 3 there on the top of the key, facing away from us. And once again, trainers tending to some blood on the uniform, this time on Delta. For Blake Jones, he runs back to the locker room, and we'll see what sub comes in for him. Coach Ben Rhodes wondering, hey, why aren't we shooting? I mean, my guys are on the floor. Now here comes Jones. So a quick fix, and he's back out there. Smith can step to the line. First one's good. And once again, tonight's game built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com or give them a call at 317-257-0779. Shot by Smith, drops through. Give him 15 here this evening. Here's Fernie. Guarded by Breidenthal. Ball stolen away. Here comes Mount Vernon looking to push. Shot up with the right hand and good by Luke Ertl, the 6'1 freshman. He makes it a 10-point game with 2:30 to play. Jones, step back jumper. That's no good. Ertl there for the board. Still looking to push. Pulls it out. Hackett thought about the 3. Now drives in. Shot is up. No good. Met at the rim there by Damari Hood. But too much of the hand, not enough basketball. Will send Adam Hackett to the free throw line. So 8th team foul for Delta. 4 fouls now for Hood and Maynard. With 2:17 to play, we will see if Coach Detweiler leaves him in, and for the time being, it looks like he will. Hackett's free throw is good. Maynard comes back with his 4th, and Bond takes a seat. So Coach Detweiler riding with his guys. With 2:17 to play, he's got 2 of them out there, Hood and Maynor, each with 4. Hackett drops that one through. He's got 5 here this evening. Stretching the Mount Vernon lead to 12 as we approach 2 minutes. Here's Wars. Corner, Hood drives baseline. Step back jumper on the way. Rattles out, no good. Breidenthal there for the rebound. Hood tries to pick up full court but has to be careful as he has 4 fouls. Now Mount Vernon will look to move the ball around the perimeter and take some time off this clock. Hackett finds Smith. Coach Rhodes gives his team the call, and they set things up. Smith guarded by Hood. Out towards the timeline, gets rid of it. Near 5-second count. Ertl guarded now by Maynor. Drives in with the left hand. Goes up for the shot. No good. That will send him to the line for 2 free throws, and unfortunately for Johnny Maynor, he will take a seat as he is now disqualified for the remaining minute 28 of this ball game, picking up his 5th foul. So Johnny Maynor was all over the boards in the first half. Really good job defensively as well. Unfortunately for him, picking up a plethora of fouls here in the second, but when you play hard, sometimes that happens. Ertl gets the free throw to fall. 13-point lead for Mount Vernon. They can add to that with this shot here and do. Come back in their full court press. Nearly stolen away. Handling it there is Caleb Elliott. His first action of the ball game as he subbed in for Maynor there during the free throws. Fernie, step back 3. That's good. So Fernie with this second 3 of the evening, give him 6 points on the night. Cuts it to 11. Ertl fouled as he approaches midcourt with 1:06 to play. And with 10 team fouls and then the double bonus, go the Delta Eagles. Ertl will head to the free throw line for 2. Well, once again, we want to thank Greg Hubler Ford at the corner of Nebo Road and McGilliard here in Muncie. Promises kept at Greg Hubler Ford at greghublerford.com. First one from Ertl is good. And also Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. That's GNESIS, sportsperformance.com. The second of 2 is no good. Hood comes down with the rebound. So with his team trailing by 12, Fernie will drive down the lane. The shot will not, or it will not be on the shot, it will be on the floor. And with that being the 4th foul on Mount Vernon, it will be an out of bounds underneath. 55.5 to play in this ball game. Mount Vernon leads 48-36. In the corner, it goes to Bond. Bond, step back jumper. No good. They're going to call him for a push-off. Tough call there for Delta, as that was a very nice off-balance shot for Caden Bond, the 5'11 junior. Took 4 seconds off the clock. Wars will take a seat for Delta. His night is probably over, and coming in for him is Caleb Jones. Mount Vernon gets the ball across midcourt, and now we'll see what they do here as time ticks away. Smith hands to Ertl at the top of the key. The 2 freshmen have played great here this evening. Ertl will just take the wide open layup as he goes down the right side of the lane, putting his team up 14 with 30 to play. Deep 3 by Fernie. That's no good. Rebounded by Julian Smith. And we are going to have a substitution timeout. And fans, unfortunately, I don't have the names of the subs that are coming in for Mount Vernon. That's how deep on the bench Coach Rhodes is going. The roster that I was given at the door and printed off from Max Preps. Do not have these three gentlemen that enter, so I do apologize to them and their family if they're listening. Hackett has it at the top of the key as we approach 10 seconds to play, and Mount Vernon will all but dribble the ball out here now, leading 50-36. And that will do it here from Delta High School. 50-36 is your final score. Mount Vernon Marauders move to 11-6 on the season. The Delta Eagles dropped to 10-7. We knew it was going to be a tough one coming in, and it was so. Very entertaining ball game here. Congratulations to Mount Vernon. Hard-fought game from Delta. We'll be back here in just a moment with some stats for you. And then once again, you can head to Twitter to see an interview with either the head coach or a player from Mount Vernon.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
We're back here at Delta High School. Unfortunately, the Eagles fall at the hands of Mount Vernon Marauders 50-36, dropping their record to 11-7 on the season. 10-7 on the season. Mount Vernon moving to 11-6. For the Marauders of Mount Vernon, give you some stats on scores for their roster. They were led in scoring by Julian Smith with 15. Eli Bridenthal chipped in 14, and Luke Ertl with 9. So the two freshmen with 15 and 9, and then the senior Bridenthal with 14. Jumping over to Delta, they were led in scoring by Jackson Wars with 17. Really nice job down low for Jackson, especially on inbound passes or inbound plays. 6 points for Damari Hood and 6 points for Jaden Fernie. So for all of us here at IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, our sponsors Universal Roofing and Exteriors, Greg Hubler Ford, Genesis Sports Performance, and Ray Skillman, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm Chris Presley, Mark Webster to my left. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next time for Indiana High School basketball action on Indiana High School Sports.